Hi everyone, this is Melanie Ly from Art from the Heart. Welcome to the next Too Many Cards video. Ardyth Percy Robb is back with me for this installment, and our generous sponsor is Honeybee Stamps. Ardyth and I are featuring the Rainbow Wishes stamp set and dies from their latest release. This is a 4x8 stamp set with an incredible set of dies which allows for endless creativity. I had a lot of fun using both the stamps and dies, and I love that you can use them independently of each other and come up with unique and amazing designs. When I saw the Over the Rainbow 6x6 paper pad, I knew I had to have it so I could incorporate the papers into my die-cut rainbows. I'm also using some words from the Thanks a Bunch stamp set, which has lovely large sentiments that are perfect for clean and simple card designs. The first thing I'm going to do is die-cut all 6 arcs from 8 different patterned papers. This way I have so many pieces available for several rainbows in different color combinations. As you can see in this first example, these rainbows look amazing with just 4 or 5 arcs. They don't have to have the full 6 arcs to have impact. For the second example, I start with the colors I didn't already use on the first rainbow. I really don't think you can go wrong with these fun colors and patterns. I'm pretty sure they'd look great in non-sequential order too. There's a fun little die that cuts out the little space in the center of the rainbow, and you can use that to create a tiny little shaker, or at least that's what I would use it for. The Rainbow Wishes die set comes with 4 clouds in different sizes, and I'll be using 3 of those on my 2 cards. I'm die cutting them from both white glitter and silver glitter cardstock. I love how these clouds look, whether you're using just the frames or the inside pieces. They look great on their own or layered with each other. I didn't think the white glitter clouds stood out enough on their own, so I recut them in silver glitter cardstock. These are much sparklier and have more impact against the rainbows. To keep the arcs together, I flipped the papers over and used strips of score tape to hold them together. I play around with the cloud die cuts and their position with the rainbow. I also die cut a piece of fun foam and adhere it to the silver cloud frame so it would be popped up around the white glitter interior. I used liquid glue to adhere the silver cloud to the fun foam and set that aside to dry. Next, I want to stamp and heat emboss the sentiment. I'm creating my own custom sentiment using words from both Rainbow Wishes and Thanks a Bunch. I use VersaFine Onyx Black ink to stamp the sentiment and heat emboss with clear embossing powder. These big sentiments don't need a lot. They look amazing stamped with a nice crisp ink. After determining placement of the rainbow and clouds, I add some falling hearts and die cut those from the panel. I use the lines on my grid mat to line up the card so my rainbow is always in the center of the card. This helps keep everything lined up and in place every time I add or move an element. The little hearts look adorable cut from the panel, and they'd be cute left plain like this, but I'm going to add some patterned paper hearts to coordinate with the rainbow. I'm also going to die cut the rays into the open cloud that I have tucked behind the rainbow. This is just a small added detail that I love. On the back of my panel, I add a big piece of score tape and use my jewel picker to place the patterned paper hearts. Aren't they so pretty? Now I'm ready to adhere the other elements onto the panel. Once again, I use liquid glue to adhere the silver die cut, and then place the white glitter insert. After using a tape runner and removing the backing from the score tape behind the little hearts, I can attach the panel to the card base, and my first card is done. I purposely left the edges of the rainbow arcs staggered to give it some movement and added detail. I love the die-cut rays through the open silver cloud, and I love the raised edge of the filled-in heart on the right. Of course, the falling hearts put the icing on the cake. I did some legwork on my second card since most of the elements are similar to those featured on the first card. On this one, there are 2 rainbows in different color combinations from the first card. I'm also going to turn one of the clouds into a shaker. I tried adhering the die cuts to acetate with liquid glue, but it didn't work so well, so I'm going to use my Xyron sticker maker, which is pretty much foolproof. Sometimes I forget about it until I botch something and then end up pulling it out. I put the die cut through and press down to make sure the adhesive wraps around the die cut as close to the edges as possible. Then I peel off the backing as quickly as possible. This is a little trick I learned to keep the adhesive from gunking up around the die cut. I attach the silver heart to the acetate and now I can trim around it. I do wish there was a die that cut out the full cloud, but trimming around it is very quick and easy to do. Now I also need to put the foam wall through the sticker maker, but I'm going to put it in upside down since it's not on the bottom of the foam that needs to stick. I need adhesive on the top edge which will be attached to the acetate. I flip it over and put it through the Xyron sticker maker. Now I attach it, and this is the housing for the sequins that will make the shaker part of the card. It's time to stamp and emboss the sentiment once again. This time I'm using an original sentiment from Rainbow Wishes. I position all the elements in the Misti stamping tool so I know where to place the sentiment. Then I stamp and heat emboss it just as I did the sentiment on the first card. I just love these big beautiful sentiments. After determining final placement of the elements, I use a pencil to draw in where I need to adhere the rainbow. These pencil lines will be covered up by the shaker cloud, so I don't need to worry about having to erase them. After both rainbows are attached, I secure the base of the shaker cloud, fill it with sequins, and adhere the shaker itself. I trim off the overhanging pieces and attach the panel to the card base with a tape runner. The last thing I need to do is add a few sequins to the arcs themselves to tie into the shaker. Now my second card is done. I really love all the sparkle and shine on this card, as well as the bold and bright rainbows. It's sure to put a big smile on the recipient's face. Looking back, I could have put more sequins in the cloud shaker, and now I'll know for next time. It'll be fun to make different variations of this shaker. Here's one last look at my first card, and a comparison of the two cards using the same elements. Keeping the designs clean and simple, you can still get very different looks, and I'm excited to play with these sets more. I think encouragement cards like this would make great teacher gifts. Please check the description below for additional details. Thanks so much to Ardyth for sharing her talent this month. I will have a new guest in June, and you're all going to love her. Thanks so much for watching.